Welcome back to Beyond Bourbon. Today we have a video that we've been wanting to do for a while.
Yeah.
More like list videos kind of things. We've done a couple shorts about this, but one of the first things that we started when we got into bourbon was hunting for allocated bottles.
Yep.
That's what you hear when you want to get in bourbon. Hey, go hunt Blanton's, go hunt Buffalo Trace, go hunt Weller, whatever it looks like. And so we're gonna do today bottles that we think are worth hunting for. Now, there's a billion out there. A lot of this stuff, on this shelf especially, some of the stuff up here is allocated.
Yep.
A lot of it's not worth it, or not worth hunting. You're going to grab just a random bottle and you see it on the shelf. A lot of these products are just worth grabbing.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but some are worth seeking for.
Yes.
And that's
some are so rare that you'll waste your time because you'll never find it.
Yep.
So we got a couple of things today, and we've been getting into bourbon hunting. We've filmed, 3 or 4 bourbon hunting videos at this point, and so we want to kind of tell you guys what we're looking for when we go on our hunts.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna start, and the one that's I'm gonna get out of the way. It's the only Buffalo Trace product I have. Jared may or may not have one. Weller Antique 107. Now, I chose this bottle. I like the Weller line in general. I love Special Reserve. Foolproof is great. Like you cannot go wrong with Foolproof. This one is $60 retail, maybe under, and $100 on secondary.
Yep.
So if you're not wanting to go secondary, you can probably find in a liquor store for maybe 110, 105, something like, maybe a little over secondary. I think it's worth going to look for. It's also probably one of the hardest Wellers to find. I've never seen this, besides I went to Ohio, I've never seen this on a retail shelf in Kentucky. And that's crazy to say, because it's not like, it shouldn't be that hard.
No.
It's not that expensive. It's not
that unique of a product.
Exactly. But this hits every palate that I love. It hits that proof point. We say this a lot. This proof for that everyday drinker, 107 to like 115 is perfect. I mean, you cannot think of something better. It gets the fruitiness. It's a weeded product, especially for a beginner. Yes, I would search this out over a lot of Buffalo Trace products and a lot of just products in general. And if you can get your hands on just a pour of this as well before you buy it, definitely worth it.
Absolutely. You can go, like he said, Ohio, you're gonna find it. I've heard Texas, you'll find a lot of these. So if you're really longing for one, there are ways to obtain it. I'm gonna get my Buffalo Trace product out of the way.
We're getting them out of the way because we're gonna get hate for those.
Colonel E.H. Taylor, this is the single barrel. This is my favorite E.H. Taylor that I've had. One of my favorite Buffalo Trace products that are like easily obtainable. I haven't had a barrel proof though, so I should probably try that one before I say that. But this one blew us away when we first had it. Blew us away. We've had small batch. It's good. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think Weller Green beat it in a blind, but we really do like small batch a lot.
Small batch is so good for its price.
Yeah, and it doesn't get talked about enough, honestly. This one right here, I don't know, maybe this single barrel was the best one ever made. It could be, that could be it. It's fantastic. And nothing can be more Buffalo Trace-esque with that grape, just soda finish. Like, it's so much flavor, and at retail, it's not bad. You know, what was it at retail?
80
bucks retail?
70 maybe. Like, it's under $100 for sure at retail.
We have a series called Keeping It 100 where we try 100 proof products. We're at like 25. This was one of our earliest episodes, and it's still one of our highest scoring bottles. It will probably win the whole thing. It'll probably be 100 proof products because it's that good. So if you ever find this product for, I would probably pay up to $150 for this.
If I see this for $150 almost any time, I'm going to buy it.
It's a buy, and I would recommend anybody, if that's something that you'd be interested in trying, to buy it for $150 or less. It is amazing.
If for a beginner, it's going to sound expensive, and it is. Like, don't get me wrong. We talk about this often. We understand that.
It's a hobby.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Like, it quickly turns into a lot of money, and see the shelf behind us here like that. We get it. But this is one of those ones that's worth paying up for. A lot of times you're gonna see, if you go to a local liquor store, not like a Total Wine or something, you can see Blanton's for $150 to $200 easily.
Crazy.
And I don't think you understand how much better this is than, like Jared said, a lot of Buffalo Trace stuff in general, but especially like a Blanton's, Weller Special Reserve. I might even prefer this over Weller Foolproof or Weller 107. It is so unique in the sense that it tastes like grape Fanta soda. Like, it is the most insane thing. I poured this for my dad and my brother a few months ago, and they were like, that's some of the best stuff I've had in a long time. Like,
it's perfect.
It's also nice because people know E.H. Taylor, they know small batch, and then they see like, oh, this is a single barrel. Like, that's even a step up. Like,
Exactly. So if you're a beginner and you're looking for, that centerpiece in your bourbon collection, this is a perfect one to get. $150, it's a lot, but for a collection, you can try, like, people try this, it looks amazing. Everybody's gonna recognize the label, right? And you pour for people, they'll be blown away.
Whiskey nerds and beginners both
can enjoy this product.
Exactly.
My
My second one is gonna be a bottle that we recently reviewed, and a bottle that we actually bought on our part 1 bourbon hunting video in Louisville. Go check that out if you haven't. Part 1 and part 2 are out now. Awesome time. Kind of. This is what probably the highlight of the trip though. And so this is going to be Evan Williams 12, 101 proof. We are Heaven Hill fans. We are Evan Williams fans. This is a step up.
It is.
We bought this in the Bourbon Bar for $150. This is an exclusive to the distillery or Japan. Kind of. You can go get it like Neat Bourbon Bar, a couple other vintage shops
that can sell something like that.
And so I think this is worth seeking. And it really is a hunt, but it's kind of a cheat because you know where to look for it.
Yeah.
You know to go to the distillery, you know to go to the vintage shop.
You know where not to find it.
Exactly.
You're not going to find it at your box stores or your local guys. You have to go to a vintage shop, distillery, or Japan.
Correct. And that's what I'm drinking right now, actually, this video. It's getting better as it goes. We bought this a couple weeks ago, and this is probably the most we've drank of a bottle like that in a long time.
Yeah,
Usually we try it,
and come back to it a little bit.
We'll give it a few weeks. We'll try it for another video. A lot of our drinking is based off of content, and this one has not been the case. I've poured this a couple times since then just to enjoy.
It's great.
It's really well balanced. For a beginner, it's perfect because it's a lower proof, high age statement. Jared, in a review, if you watched it, he talked about it's not, you expect astringency when you get a lower proof, high age statement or a high proof, low age statement. This is one of the exceptions. There's a little bit there. There is, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Scotch.
But it almost goes away after you taste it.
The amount of flavor just overwhelms that astringency instantly. The cool thing with this bottle is when we go hunting in Kentucky, we are fortunate enough to have a more variety of products. Products that a lot of you guys probably don't see on your shelves, and people will comment all the time like, I would have picked that bottle up. I would have picked this bottle up.
Yep.
But we see those bottles in literally every store we go. So if I want, Augusta or whatever, I know where to get it or find it. This is a product I've never seen it before, and when we saw it, we had to get it. So this is for us, something that we would hunt for because it's something that we're not gonna find on every single shelf.
If you bring over a beginner, they're gonna see this and be like, oh wow, that's different than the normal white label bottom bonnet ones I tried. Can I try that? They'll be blown away. If you bring over a whiskey fan, odds are they also don't have a bottle of this. And so it's something unique that you can share with from beginner to advanced again. And I think that's what's important. Our favorite thing in the world is to share bourbon with people. Like that's the best thing about this hobby is sharing with people, with each other.
Yep.
Like that's what we got started doing is just sharing with each other.
Latch Crate Barrel Proof is probably, one of the most commonly hunted bottles every year. And that's for good reason, right? They have 3 releases, an A, B, and a C every year that all have a pretty good variance to them. And every year, bourbon hunters, non-bourbon hunters, people that just drink bourbon, they will go out and find this. And they release it in stores. They release it everywhere for a little bit of time, and then it's gone. And then sometimes they'll creep back up. Sometimes people get their stock out and you'll find it. But when you find it, the best part is how much you're paying for it.
Completely agree.
$70, $80 maybe. That's an insane value. This one is A124, it's 119 proof, 10 years. This is probably the lowest age and lowest proof they've had in a long time, especially compared to last year's C923, which is in the 30s, 130 proof?
133, I think.
Crazy, like 13 years?
Yep. I think this one's probably the worst value, and it's still a great value.
It's still cheaper than this one and this one, and it's more proof, not more age, but some of them can be more age.
Yeah.
And more flavor, and then you have the fun part about collecting them. You get batch A and a batch C. You can blind those. You can find next year's B. You can find one from 2 years ago and try them, and it just creates a whole cool world. It's something to review every 4 months when they release it. Anytime I see a batch I don't have, I'm gonna pick up a bottle as long as it's a good price.
This is one of those bottles that I call a continuous hunt. Yes, it's not on your list of I'm gonna try to find this bottle today.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But if you see it,
it's almost I go look. Oh, that's a local liquor store I've not been to. Let's go in there. holy cow, they have a C921. How often do we see batches that are 2, 3 years old sometimes? And I've seen a C919 in a store before. And like, that just makes me happy as a bourbon hunter, especially as a bourbon drinker, it's great. But a bourbon hunter, I'm like, that's like really cool to find that. Like that's a gem hidden among like all these random things.
It is.
And so it's really fun. And this is one that's really easy to tell batches. Like single barrels or a lot of other stuff are great. Batch products that have on the bottle the batch number, like these suck. This is the worst batch experience of all time because it has a serial code you have to read.
Yeah.
It's not batch 1 or batch 2 or batch 3, it's LLJ Kool-Aid. But this is like A124, so it's easy to tell, hey, I have A124, I know for a fact. Not, oh, I can't remember that 7-digit serial code I have to remember. Like, that's stupid.
Exactly.
This is super easy.
Super easy, and it's like you can watch a review of us or somebody on YouTube drinking A124. Yeah, mostly us. And you'd be like, well, I really want to get that. They really liked it. And you know what you're looking for. Look for this, A124 batch number, and you can pick it up and enjoy the same exact experience we're enjoying.
Correct. My third one of my favorite big 6 distillers, Jack Daniel's. So, huge Jack Daniel's fan in general. Their barrel proof bourbon is one of my favorite pours I've had in a long time. It's always going to come back to it. This is a step up. I had this in actually another video we did of a list. I can't remember what that one was.
The Reddit list, I think.
Was it Reddit? Yeah. This bottle is that good. I'm actually gonna pour some right now. This is Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye. It's a single barrel, so it's hard to say they're all good. I've had 3 of them at this point. All of them have been very similar, surprisingly similar for barrel proofs. And all 3 absurdly good.
How can it not be good? Look
Exactly. I mean, look at that color.
Look at the color on it. Look at the proof on it.
130.8 proof. I think it's the lowest proof I've had.
I know. Have you had a lot of bad 130 plus proof?
No, the closest thing would be benchmark full proof.
Exactly.
125 proof stuff. Anything that's 130 proof, gotta be good. But this bottle, we found this once in a store. And that was actually part 1 bourbon hunting video. Make sure you go check that out, where you can go find it if you're in the Louisville area.
The only thing we found on that trip besides these 2 products that was worth the talking about, honestly.
Yeah, and we didn't buy it. It was still like a little more expensive than I'd like to pay. This is a product that I would pay $90 for if I didn't already have a bottle.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't, there's a couple that are like really high proofs. I think 135 plus. I would buy one of those if I found it. I think that one was maybe 129 proof. These products are an explosion of flavor that Jack Daniel's does better than anyone else.
They do. They get the most flavor out of their liquid. I don't know how they do it.
And especially, we call ourselves bourbon hunters a lot. This is not a bourbon. This is the perfect bottle to hunt for a bourbon drinker if you want to roll it. This is like so sweet. Most people confuse this for bourbons. I've bought this probably for 3 or 4 people. Every person said it's bourbon. Not a single person's like, that's a rye. It's super sweet. It's no like that astringency. It's no that greenness. It's just a great product.
It's so good. I almost consider putting the bourbon on this list.
Me too.
But I can find that all over the place. This one is like special, right? Man, that's so caramely.
Oh my gosh, it's better to remember.
4 Roses single barrel barrel strength.
God, that's so good too.
Love this product. We've recently been getting obsessed with this product. So this is, coming in, prices are going up a little bit, which is kind of a deterrent for me. But at $100 or less, this is one of my favorite bottles anytime I see it. I'm always gonna pick it up. And not only because there's 10 different recipes, right? So if I don't have a recipe, I have to get that bottle. But we've blinded the same recipes and all the different recipes before. Let's go check that video out. But there's so much variance. If you look on the front, it tells you barrel number, and then there's a number, and that number means what floor it was on. So the higher the floor, typically the better the product is, and that kind of is rang true for the most part. And then they vary in proofs from 105 to like 125.
The lower the tier, usually the lower the proof. This is floor 3, so it's 58%. That's like average for 3. The tier 5 or 6 we have was like 120 something proof.
Yep.
The tier 1 we have was like 100, like you said, 105, maybe 100. Like it was 103. It was super low.
So weird.
Not super low, but low.
For these, it is. And then again, there's 10 different recipes. So different yeast strains combined with different mash bills.
So excited.
It's so fun to just get into this and start collecting them. And they're all really good. Like, even the worst one we had in that blind we did, I would drink on any given day.
I would pay the money for it.
It was worth, the $100 or $90. And so they're not the easiest to find, and I wouldn't pay up like $150 for them just because you don't really know what you're gonna get until you try it. But it's so fun just to hunt and like find like, oh my gosh, is it an OBSF or whatever, and go home and blind it with the other ones I have, or try it with other people, and everybody is genuinely surprised at how good these are.
What's cool about these is there's picks, and there's also master selection picks. So most of the time, if you go to the distillery, worth a trip anyways. One of the most beautiful gift shops.
Gift shops.
It is insane. If you're not even doing a tour, Jared did a tour and you loved it.
Yeah, tour's great.
But if you're not doing a tour, the gift shop is worth to go step into. It is huge. And they have a bar there. You can go try some cocktails. So if your wife's with you and she doesn't like bourbon, there's a bunch of cocktails you can try. It's an awesome tour. It's a unique experience. It's not like your typical distillery, but
it's not.
Most of the time you go there, they're gonna have at least one recipe. Every now and then, I think around Christmas, they had all 10 recipes you could buy. And probably maybe once a quarter, they'll have all 10 out at once. And that's like a crazy experience, but you also have to drop $1,000 if you want all 10.
Yeah, it's crazy. But if you've never had this because you don't like regular Four Roses products, you're missing out.
We feel
that same way. I love the distillery and everything about this distillery. I don't love their mainline products. That's just something my palate doesn't like, some of those things. But the high proof, it tastes incredible. It belongs at high proof single barrel stuff. Like that is where Four Roses shines. It doesn't even have that florally notes as much.
Correct.
That you normally get. So this is a fantastic product. You gotta check all these out if you can find them hunting.
Agreed. So let us know what 3 bottles that you think are worth hunting for. And I think all these are great for beginners. This is a beginner-centric video, but also for those people, like, we are still hunting all 6 of these bottles every time we go out.
If we went hunting and we found all 6 of these bottles in one of our videos, that would be our best haul we've had in a bird hunting video.
Not even close, yeah.
I would lose my mind.
Yeah, it would be the best experience I've ever had as a bourbon drinker. We love all 3 of these, or all 6 of these, but side note, let us know who you think wins this.
Yeah, if you could only have 3, if you could have his 3, or we could have my 3, and...
I think I'm gonna go my 3 here. Would you go your 3?
No, I gotta go his 3.
I like
I
both
think
of these though.
This beats this, but this beats this, and this beats this.
While you're commenting, make sure to like and subscribe. That really does help the channel out.
Please.
And thank you so much for watching till the end. I think this is a longer video, but I think it's worth it.
I think you guys like it. Let us know if you like these list videos.
Yeah, so cheers. See you guys next week.